Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
Amanda.
I'm Jay.
I'm Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing A Bug's Life from 1998.
Now in theaters. Meet Hopper.
You ants are forgetting your place.
He's quite the motivational speaker, isn't he?
Let's ride!
Disney and Pixar's A Bug's Life. Meet Flick.
We could send someone to get help.
We never leave the island.
There's snakes and birds and bigger bugs out there.
From the creators of Toy Story.
Boy, he runs fast for a little guy.
A Bug's Life. Rated G. Now playing at a theater near you.
A Bug's Life stars Dave Foley, Kevin Spacey, Hayden Panettiere, and is directed by John Lasseter. The plot of A Bug's Life is that we basically follow one little ant named Flick as he searches for a band of warriors to help him battle the grasshoppers who threaten his home. When he stumbles upon a bumbling trope of circus bugs, instead, their only hope for victory is the bond of friendship and the power of imagination. One of my positives with A Bug's Life, honestly for me, I will say it is bright and colorful, which I think I know a lot of kids like. So, and I mean the colors in that do pop, definitely. Another positive I have with this movie is honestly one thing: the circus bugs. They're honestly probably the best part of the movie. They're, the funniest part too, and the most memorable part of this film. And then they just have so much personality in that, and so much character written for them. And another positive I have, so there's a scene in which they get chased by a bird in that, and it's not like a big bird or anything, it's just like a robin or something. And for me, especially as a kid, and even kind of as an adult, it's like, they managed to somehow make a bird scary without it being a horror film. I mean, technically speaking, if you think about it, what you see there is that, like, the bird's, it's a cute little bird. But how they managed to pull it off to make it threatening, it's like, kind of hilarious, but, I gotta give kudos to Pixar that they actually made a little bird like that actually scary. Especially for kids. And honestly, that's it for my positives. What are my negatives with A Bug's Life? Honestly, for me, the biggest negative of this whole thing is that this is a very dull movie. It's very uninteresting. The plot is uninteresting. It's stuff we've seen done before. In fact, I think we've probably seen it done before in better ways. Also, most of the characters aren't interesting in that. Even our main lead, Flick, he's uninteresting. It's not like he's a nice character, but other than that, what else is there for him? What else does he have compared to even other main leads in Pixar movies? And that's another thing too. This was Pixar's second full-length feature film after Toy Story. And yeah, it's like, here's the thing, as a standalone movie, it's not great. For Pixar, even. Like, I would rather watch any of the other Pixar movies over this. In fact, even as a kid, I felt like, I think as a kid I remember this being, the one I would watch the least. Like, rewatch the least. Like, I'd for sure pick Toys to rewatch the first Toy Story over this, so. And I don't know, I think maybe because a lot of it has to be that this film was probably meant for little kids, Which, here's the thing, when I was a little kid, I did love this film. But as I get older, I start to notice more of the problems with it, and it just. Also, another thing is, I don't like the music is kind of dull too. The villains with the grasshoppers, although they do look cool in some places, aren't that interesting of villains. again, we've seen these villains before, but they don't do anything new or different with them. Even the voice actors, I think, could be honestly switched around. In fact, I think that for the most part with any of these voice actors, again, aside from the circus bugs, but yeah. Now, the one thing I will mention about this film is that I do know there are some people who do want to see a sequel to Bug's Life, and honestly, for me, I can't really see that happening because one, I can't see any with how they end the film and everything, and just how this film is set up and ending. Like, how this film is set up and ends, honestly, I can't really see how you could do a follow-up to A Bug's Life. And knowing that, another reason being is because this, honestly, again, I think is Pixar's one of their weaker films. So, I don't think most people would be like, I don't think they would be like, you know what we need to do? Do a sequel to A Bug's Life. Now, the only way I could see it really happening is if they have an interesting enough story, make the characters much more interesting and well-developed this time around. You know, make it less for little kids and more for, especially, because, again, I think this one was meant for little kids. If they made it, much more for, teenagers or, just for anybody, what Pixar is good, really does really well, make it for any age, and that actually come up again with a good story, improve on the characters, actually, improve on the comedy and everything, then maybe I could see them doing a sequel to A Bug's Life. If all those are, put in place, then yeah, those are the only ways I could see them doing a sequel to Bug's Life and actually having it be good. Other than that, even I'm like, how do you even do a sequel to Bug's Life? And have it be interesting and that, because honestly, I don't see it happening. And I especially don't see it happening because this film came out in 1998. And it's now 2020, so I don't ever see it really happening. If they were to have done a sequel to A Bug's Life, they should have really done, they probably would have done it during the Katzenberg era of Disney, where they were doing the whole direct-to-DVD sequels and that. If they were going to do that, it probably would have been the best to do it then, because I could only see A Bug's Life being A Bug's Life 2 being a straight-to-video release sequel, and not a theatrically made Pixar movie, or maybe something on Disney Plus, But I don't see it as a film that would really be theatrically, a theatrical release worthy. In fact, honestly, I just don't ever see them really doing a sequel to Bug's Life. I don't. So with that said, I'm going to give A Bug's Life a 2 out of 5 stars. Now, here's the thing, the 2 out of 5 stars is not because it's awful. I've seen way worse movies, especially with this rating, and I did like it as a kid, like a little kid. So there is some nostalgia for me there, but honestly, other than the nostalgia and, again, the circus bugs, what else is there really with this movie? It doesn't really hold up as well as I thought it probably would have. I definitely agree it's one of Pixar's weaker films, actually. Thankfully, they got a lot better, since A Bug's Life, But for me, if you have, a little kid or, have little kids, you can pop this in and it's fine, and knowing that even an adult could pop this in fine, or an older kid, and there's nothing really offensive about the movie. It's just there's nothing really there to really interest a lot of people, actually, I think. If you were to go back and rewatch this film, you would probably be able to see what I'm talking about. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.